Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is Eddie Marcus, and I got a question this morning I'd like to ask the people of this nation. And I want you to think about this seriously before you answer these questions. You don't have to answer, but you can think about it and then answer them for yourselves. Now that it has been determined beyond a doubt, and every American sees it, whether only half of them will admit it. But now that it is affirmed that the presidency of the United States is corrupt, now that it is affirmed that the Congress of the United States, at least part of it, enough of it, is corrupt, now that it is affirmed that the justice system, at least part of it, is affirmed as being corrupt, and our jails are running over, filled with people put there by corrupt people. And many of you are out in the society today, here in America, under the authority of a corrupt presidency, a corrupt Congress, a corrupt Justice Department, and a corrupt system. The judiciary, it does no doubt, everybody knows it's corrupt. I mean, if you had any doubt, all it takes now is Kavanaugh to tell you. And that is, But the question to the people is this: what do you do about it? How can there be justice with all this corruptness around? Who approved this corruption? Was it the people that we just condemned? Are they the ones that approve this corruption? Or are they the one that's corrupted? And if they are the ones that's corrupted, then who approved this corruption? Think about that for a minute. You probably would say that the people who sent them there approved this corruption. Which means that if the people who sent them there approved this corruption, and this corruption must be what the people want, does that mean that America itself is corrupted? And if America itself is corrupted, like not everyone in Congress is corrupted, not everyone in the Justice Department is corrupted, not everyone, well, I don't know about the presidency. There might be a lot of people that are corrupt. I don't know. But anyway, there are a lot of people that's not corrupt, as there are not a lot of people that's in the country that's not corrupt. But what do you who are not corrupt do? Wherever you are, if you are not corrupt, what do you do at this moment in history about this corruption? Do you stop and go along with it? Or do you grab it by the tail and put it back in the bag? But be careful, because there are those out there who think that everybody should pick up a gun and defend themselves when you got nobody else to defend you. That is not the answer. You have to be very, very, very careful about that. Picking up a gun like it was in the Old West, it proved that it wasn't sufficient. That's why it changed. But now here we are in a time where that corruption is slid in through the back door. There's a major question. What are we, the people, going to do about it? Well, I want to say to you this. There's only one or two things you can do. You can end by joining into this corruption or being complacent with it, and it will destroy you. No doubt it will destroy you. If you read every dictator's book, this is the way it started. Now, a month ago or so, there was an alert system that was sent out to the American people. Many of you think it's a crisis situation, that something might happen. Russia might attack, China might attack. There's a big, the earth is turning over on its axis and all the water is going to turn over on the land. And they might want to warn you. But it could be that corruption is so powerful in the United States that if anybody get the courage enough to stand up and say, let's come together. We're not going to take it anymore. We're going to throw this corruption out. Then, outside of the people, you have given the presidency of the United States the authority to have so much power even over you. And so that alert system could be used to alert all of those who support this dictatorship. You can talk what you want to talk. This is already a dictatorship. America is already a dictatorship. And if you think that you're not, and you do start rising up, I guarantee you that that alert system is just for that. To call the protectors of this dictatorship to rise up and defend this dictatorship. Now, will the FBI and the military that's not corrupt, will they help and support the people? Or will they support corruption? I have to ask, what are they doing now? This corruption has just been marching like a marathon, and nothing seems to be slowing it down. Nothing seems to be slowing it down. So my question, once again, in light of all this corruption that the people have allowed to rise its ugly head up in America, and it's choking the lifeblood of what we have dreamed and hoped for, what are we going to do about it? Well, for those of you who are not corrupted, let me tell you something. Trying to fight corruption the way they do it will get you nowhere. Now, only way I can tell you is a way that has been designed by the Creator God. And I know a lot of you don't believe in God, and I know why. Because the system has designed a way in such that you can forget God. They took God out of your everyday life. You're permitted to deal with God once a week over yonder in that building. Get a man the money, and you can come home feeling like you did something good. He feels satisfied because he got money in his pocket, and everything goes on just fine. But the reality of it is, ladies and gentlemen, there is a God. I know you don't want to hear it, but I'm going to tell you something. There is a God. And I'm not going to argue about the Bible. I'm not going to argue about whether the stories are metaphors. I'm not going to worry about and argue about, is Jesus real? It doesn't matter to me if Jesus is real or not. What I do know is there's a God. And because I know there's a God, whether Jesus lived or not, I know Jesus can live in everybody in this world that allow themselves to be controlled by the power of love. So we don't have one Jesus. Everybody becoming Jesus. So you don't have to argue about if Jesus is real or not. What are you? A Jesus type or a devil type? Well, for some strange reason, having lived as long as I've lived, I'd rather be a Jesus type. And so I can tell you that that great God Almighty, who looked at you, who have sold yourselves out to evil, who have sold yourselves out to people you don't even know who they are, where they are, and what they're doing, who are using money to bait you to sell your soul every day. Every last one of you are selling your souls every day. Every day that you walk away from the plan of life that is designed by the Creator, you are selling your soul. Now, what is the plan? Let me tell you something. I know no preacher told you. Your preachers told you to die. Don't rock the boat while you're here. Stay out of trouble and die. God sitting there receiving you into his kingdom. You man, you almost made me come out of my book. But let me tell you something. This great God Almighty that I tell you about. Hey! Woo! Mr. Trump, can you make an earth? I'm not talking about a world. Can you make an earth? Let me ask you, white supremacist, who says blood and earth, blood and soil, blood and dirt. Let me ask you something. Can you design an earth? And if you can't, after the president designs an earth, can you place in the earth all of the resources, all that which is essentially necessary to provide for the survival of human life in every form on earth? Can you do that, Mr. White Supremacist or Black Supremacists who are joining on with them? Can you guys do that? You were given a role to play in the progression of life, the fulfillment of that process of people constantly coming on earth, and you screw that up. Let me ask you something. Can you come up with a plan that would engage every human being in the career process or the job process, whatever you want to call it, and identify those gifts that are so essential in them that would give them the greatest joy in their participation in that creative process? Who can do that? Who can do that? What man on earth can do that? What man on earth has already devised that? What man on earth is already talking about that? Okay. You create all the goods and services, food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, and provide all of this and enough of it by engaging everybody in the work process that promotes peace and prosperity and joy in life and your dreams coming true without lying, without cheating, without stealing, without killing in war. How many of you smart Americans can answer that? How many of you smart Americans can agree to that? How many of you smart Americans will go along with that? I'll tell you, none of you. None of you. At this present date, none of you. I don't care about the lie you're telling. I'm a lover. You're a liar. I believe in God. You're a liar. Now, why am I saying you? I'm saying this to you because I know what I'm talking about. You might get mad. That's all right. You see, God wanted me to tell you that. So when I threw my life away, woo, God snatched it back. Woo! Says, I want to use you. I'm going to show you something. And he put something inside of me. And he planned something and told me about it and sent me out into the world to test you. All of those of you who say you love God. All of those of you who say you love us. All of those of you who say you're sweet and filled with the Spirit and the Holy Ghost. Those of you who don't claim that, don't nobody expect you to have it. You might have it. You might be the only ones that got it. But those who out there, lips, blah, 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 all you lovers, God sent me out there to test you. And the test was simple. It says, you on your knees praying for food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, and a job. You pray for it every day. God sent me out there to tell you that I was designed for you. And in it comes your peace and your prosperity and joy. And he told me how to tell you to get it. You got to stand up. Stand up for truth. Stand up for what's right. Oh, you got to care about yourself. And you got to care about everybody else like you care about yourself. And like you will have everybody else to care about you. That's what I was told to tell you. I was to visit you on the streets. Visit you in your churches. Visit you in your private spots. Visit you in your homes. And share that information with you. But not just share it with you. Not just tell you with it. But run as a representative of it. So if the people believed in it, let them put their support behind what you're talking about. I've done it for 36 years. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, today, you are a liar. You are a big fat liar. White, black, men, women, you're a liar. You're a big fat liar. But now, this is not in meanness. This is definitely not in meanness, because out of everything I'm telling you today, one thing I want to leave with you, the reason that I'm telling you this today, and the reason that I know it for a fact, is because this great power that I tell you about still loves you in all of your ugliness, in all of your filth, and that power still loves you. And the purpose of this message is to deliver you from your foolishness. Will it be successful? The choice is yours. Bye-bye.